US government creates moral minefield after Silicon Valley Bank and Silvergate's bailouts. While your favourite public-facing venture capitalist was having a complete meltdown and talking about buying guns on Twitter, financial regulators and governing bodies met behind closed doors to stop what was beginning to resemble a regional-level bank run. Their move became clear on Sunday when a joint decision was announced, ensuring that all depositors at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature were fully covered, regardless of $250,000 limits on Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation insurance. The alteration seems to have driven the governmental bodies into an extremely morally hazardous minefield. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation only guarantees the return of up to $250,000 to depositors if a bank goes under. The wealthy venture capitalists that held accounts at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature demanded the US government do away with the cap and cover all deposits. Mega-rich supporters like Mark Cuban chimed in. The US government acquiesced. Are all deposits at all US banks covered now? Well, no they aren't. Similar to the global financial crisis of 2008, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, Fed, and Treasury are using a series of extraordinary measures to mitigate a crisis and, at least for the time being, intend to roll back these procedures when the problems have been resolved. Unfortunately, this decision has created a conundrum for government financial institutions. Promise that every deposit in America is insured, or make Silicon Valley Bank and Signature the exception to the rule, giving the appearance of special treatment for a subset of the wealthy elite. The financial commentator Francis Coppola told Protos, quote, "The route taken is the simplest. Quote, they've given these banks a collateral uplift and handed them a free pass," end quote. Even the same venture capitalists who demanded the centimillion or billion-dollar deposits be covered at Silicon Valley Bank or Signature seem to be calling for all US depositors to receive the same promises, with well-known venture capitalist, definitely not a libertarian, and All-In podcast co-host David Sachs saying, quote, "The Fed may or may not realize it, but it's created a two-tier banking system," end quote. This is indeed the case. Crisis averted, crisis created. The immediate bank run danger appears to have been dealt with. Most banks that were seeing their stocks and depositors rushing for the exit have rebounded in the market, but including but not limited to First Republic, Pacific West, Western Alliance, and customers. But a new crisis is afoot, where regulators will have to determine if the banking system needs an overhaul in the wake of recent collapses. Coppola warned, quote, "The problem is that banks always have to leverage deposits somehow. If they don't do it by lending, then they'll do it some other way. The ramifications of this crisis and its resolution are quite dreadful. There'll be consolidation in the US banking system," end quote. For more informed news, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Google News, or subscribe to our YouTube channel.